Oh, hello, great readers. I'm Belchan.
I'm Nimakung.
I'm Banchan.
In this class, I'll read to all of you a part of Great Expectations.
As.
Ah.
Great Expectations. Charles Dickens. Chap. 40 Sec 2. My gentleman must have horses. Po. Horses to ride. And horses to drive. And horses for his servant to ride and drive as well. Shall colonists have their horses and blallons? If you please. Good Lord, and not my London gentleman? Well, we'll show him another pair of shoes than that. Then he took out of his pocket a great thick pocket book, bursting with papers, and tossed it on the table. There's something worth spending in that there book. Dear boy, it's yourn. All I've got ain't mine. It's yourn. Don't you be afraid on it. There's more where that come from. A gentleman. That'll be my pleasure. My pleasure will be for to see him do it. And bast you all, he wound up, looking round the room and snapping his fingers once with a loud snap. Blast you everyone. From the judge in his wig to the colonist stirring up the dust. Stop, said I, almost in a frenzy of fear and dislike. I want to speak to you. I want to know what is to be done. I want to know how you are to be kept out of danger. How long you are going to stay. Look, sir. It, said he, laying his hand on my arm in a suddenly altered and subdued manner. First of all, look, sir. I forgot myself half a minute ago. What I said was low. That's what it was. Though. Look, sir. Pill. Look over it. First I resumed, half groaning. Dear boy, he said, in the same tone as before. That don't go first. Lowness goes first. I ain't took so many years to make a gentleman, not without knowing what's due to him. Book, sir. Pill. I was low. That's what I was. Though, look over it. Some sense of the grimly ludicrous moved me to a fretful laugh. As I replied, I have looked over it. In heaven's name. Is. But look, sir, he persisted. Dear boy, I ain't come so far. Not for to be low. Man. Go on. Dear boy. Well. Dear boy. The danger ain't so great. With that I was informed in. The danger ain't so much to signify. There's Jiggers. And there's Wemmick. And there's you. Is there no chance person who might identify you in the street? Said I. Well, he returned, there ain't many. Come back from Botany Bay, and years have rolled away, and who's to gain by it? Still, Ug séir. Pill. If the danger had been 50 times as great, I should have come to see you. Mind you. How long, said he, taking his black pipe from his mouth and dropping his jaw as he stared at me. I'm not a-going back. Were you alive? Said I. What is to be done with you? The body returned. There's disguising which can be bought for money. And there's hair powder. And spectacles. And black for the shorts and whatnot. Others has done is safe afore. And what others has done afore, others can do again. As to the where and how of living, Thiebe, you take a million now, said I. But you were very serious last night. And so I swear it is death, said he, putting his pipe back in his mouth. And death by the rope. In the open street, not far from this. And it's serious that you should fully understand it to be so. What then? When that's once done, here I am. To go back now would be as bad as to stand ground worse. Besides, I'm here because I've meant it by you. Years and years. As to what I do, I'm old bird now, as has dared all manner of traps since first he was fledged, and I'm not afraid to perch upon a scarecrow. If there is death inside of it, there is, and let him come at, and I'll face him, and then I'll believe in him, not before. Once more, he took me by both hands and surveyed me with an air of admiring proprietorship, smoking with great complacency all the while, lodging hard by, of which he might take possession when Herbert returned, whom I expected in 2 or 3 days. That the secret must be confided to Herbert as a matter of unavoidable necessity, with him out of the question, was plain to me. But it was by no means so plain to Mr. Provost I resolved to call him by that name, a favourable judgment of his physiognomy. And even then, Thiebe, said he, pulling a greasy little clasped black testament out of his pocket, to swear people on in cases of emergency, would be to state what I never quite established. But this I can say, that I never knew him put it to any other use. The book itself had the appearance of having been stolen from some court of justice, and perhaps his knowledge of its antecedents, combined with his own experience in that wise, gave him a reliance on its pores as a sort of legal spell or charm. On this first occasion of his producing it, I recalled how he had made me swear fidelity in the churchyard long ago. His solitude, as he was at present dressed in a seafaring slop suit, in which he looked as if he had some parts and cigars to dispose of. I next discussed with him what dress he should wear. He cherished an extraordinary belief in the virtues of shorts as a disguise. Him something between a dean and a dentist. Dressed more like a prosperous farmer's. And we arranged that he should cut his hair close, and wear a little powder. Lastly, as he had not yet been seen by the laundress or her niece, Aloud, it would seem a simple matter to decide on these precautions. But in my dazed, not to say distracted, state, it took so long. Afternoon, He was to remain shut up in the chambers while I was gone. I was on no account to open the door, there being to my knowledge a respectable lodging house in Essex Street, the back of which looked into the Temple, and was almost within hail of my windows. I first of all repaired to that house, and was so fortunate as to secure the second floor for my uncle, Mr. Povis. I then went from shop to shop, making such purchases as were necessary to the change in his appearance. This business transacted, I turned my face, on my own account, to Little Britain. Mr. Jaggers was at his desk, but, seeing me enter, got up immediately and stood before his fire. And it said he, I will. Sir, I returned. For, coming along, I had thought well of what I was going to say. Don't commit yourself, said Mr. Jaggers, and don't commit anyone. You understand the one. Don't tell me anything. I don't want to know anything. Of course, I saw that he knew the man was come. I merely wanted, Mr. Jaggers, said I, to assure myself that what I have been told is true. I have no hope of its being untrue. Mr. Jaggers nodded. What you say told or informed, he asked me, with his head on one side, and not looking at me, but looking in a listening way at the floor. Toad would seem to imply verbal communication. You can't have verbal communication with a man in New South Wales. I will say, informed. Mr. I have been informed by a person named Dibble Magwitch. That is the man, said Mr. Jaggers. And only, said I, to be continued.